Hey, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. Back again, once again. You already know what it is, baby. Instant classic in the making. First time to the channel, guys. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the Good Doc's content. Everything you should need to know about yours truly shall be listed in the links in the description area below. Let's go ahead and knock this one out, okay? Because there's really no way that I can, cast this one out and get a filler of how you guys are going to take this video. Quite frankly, it just needs to be said. So y'all just need to let me go and get this out the way. Let me go and get the getting, and y'all go on about y'all business, and I'll let you go and do what y'all doing, okay? I've lived in the Philippines for quite a few years. I know it's like a broken record. I say that a lot. But I've kind of come to the conclusion that if your young lady is not willing to do this for you in any capacity, you need to get rid of her immediately. You need to run away immediately. You need to disregard her immediately. Okay? Now, what is that one thing that I am talking about? Let's go ahead and go through the motions. Let's say you've been in a relationship or you've been dealing with a young lady for some time and unexpectedly she just so happens to get pregnant, right? If you tell that young lady that you want to have a paternity test and she refuses to do so, she needs to go. Or you need to find a way to get out of that situation. I'm not saying to run away from it, but I'm saying if she's gonna give you a hard time about, getting a DNA test or anything of that, you really need to find a way to either get her to take it or tell her if you don't take it, I'm not gonna work. I'm just gonna get rid of you. I'm not necessarily get rid of her, but definitely you have to let her know that it's literally no way around it. And the reason I say that is men lie, women lie, but the facts and evidence do not. Let me say that one more time. Men lie, women lie, but the facts and evidence will not lie to you. A DNA test will tell you 100%, or at least 99.9%, if that child is yours or if that child is not, all right? Make sure you go to a reputable source, not somebody's backyard clinic where you can get it for the cheap. None of that bullshit. Not some, what do you call them, midwife clinic or anything like that. No, you go to a place where a definitive answer can be given if that child is yours or not, okay? And if a young lady fights you on it, I'm not convinced that you really should be spending a lot of time with her because in my obvious opinion, it sounds like you have a lot to hide if you tell me that you're not willing to have a DNA test, okay? It's just gonna tell you the truth, guys. Just gonna tell you the truth. It shows me you have a lot to hide if you're not willing to take a DNA test. I don't care if that baby come out looking half black or come out with a bald ass head, because most babies are bald anyways. Nah, baby, I need clarity. It's for my peace of mind. And if a young lady's not willing to do that for your own peace of mind, I don't know if she's really worth it, man. And jokingly, I did this to my young lady. Let me tell you what happened. So I was on the phone with her and I just asked her randomly, and you can clarify this with her at any time because she'll tell you I did this shit. So I was on the phone with her and we was talking. I was like, baby, I said, if you get pregnant and I ask you for a DNA test, will you get mad? That's what I asked her. I was like, if I asked you for a DNA test, will you be pissed off about it? Because I really wanted to know how she would feel about it. And her words verbatim, I shit you not, her words verbatim were, she paused for a minute, but her words verbatim were, if it makes you happy or if it's something that you feel you need to have, I will do it for you. Let me say that one more time. If it's something that makes you happy or something that you need, I'll do it for you. That's when I knew. I was like, you know what? I'm good. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, guys, she's doing it for my clarity. She's not going to get pissed off or mad about it or anything. It's just something that I would want my young lady to do for me. Granted, I have never in our entire relationship had a reason to question her loyalty to the team. I'll tell you right now, not once have I ever had nor had a reason to question her loyalty to the team. But at the end of the day, guys, the clarity comes with that piece of paper in front of me that tells me legitimately that this is officially my offspring. And a lot of people won't do that. I know that I will, okay? I will have to have a DNA test, guys. And if you're not willing to do it just because of some trust thing and you feel like you're the only one that girl slept with or anything like that, that's cool. I'm just telling you that for peace of mind, that piece of paper will be a whole lot better than somebody's word. Trust me, I've had a lot of people say some things to me that I was supposed to trust them on, and it didn't quite pan out the way that it should have panned out. You feel me? So rather than me taking your word for it, first thing I ask is, okay, if you're gonna come out and, you know, all these girls in the background who think the good doc is fathering their children and shit like this is the Maury show, I'm gonna tell you right now, let's take this DNA test, and if you believe it to be true, let's take the DNA test. Let me make sure it's 100% mine. And if you caught me, you got me. If my little swimmers just happen to, you know, be the grand champions, I did it. Ain't much I could do about it after that. We'll have to figure out what happens after that. But only when the clarity comes in do I believe that. You know, that's when we start working towards what we can do to get this take. Like, you know, what can we do to, you know, make this thing work moving forward. All right. Again, I'm not against being a dad, and I don't think many of you are against being fathers. Half of y'all are already fathers right now, or have been fathers before. So if you're 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years of age, and your swimmers still work, and you just so happen to produce an offspring, I just think that, you know, for clarity only, your young lady should be willing to give you the DNA test, or should be willing to take the DNA test. Now you will have some women that will fight that shit, will be like, oh, you don't trust me? I ain't no hoe. Well, probably sounds more like a westernized chick, but you'll have those women that'll be like, oh, you don't believe me when I say that it's yours, and most of the time they'll go to tears and shit and try to convince you not to get the test. But I promise you, if you don't get that test, guys, I don't know about y'all, but it's always gonna be in the back of my head talking about, yo, is this really mine or not? I don't care if that baby's half black. Shit, maybe you got a thing for black dudes. Sorry, you know? So it's not like I can take words of anybody with something so serious, because I'd be damned if I get attached to some kid that I believe is mine, and a year or so down the line come to find out there's somebody else trying to claim this kid, or we take the DNA test and it finds out that I'm negative, or, you know, there's a 0% chance this baby mine. All I'm gonna think about is, why didn't I get the DNA test? Now I'm attached to a child that is not mine. There is nothing worse. There is no pain on earth worse than getting attached to something that you thought was yours that is not yours. Because now you're put into a situation. Do I continue raising this child? Most of us would say, fuck nah, kick rocks, bitch, you gone, whatever. But, you know, this is a child that you let within your heart. At least as long as you care about somebody, this is somebody you let within your emotions. So you're emotionally attached to the situation now. I would rather you get emotionally attached only after you realize that it is 100% yours. Okay? Now, if the young lady had a baby before y'all got into a relationship and stuff like that, and you get attached to the child that way, hey, you know, that's just you sticking up, you know, being a father figure for somebody else's kid. Kudos to you. All right? But for me, it's just a matter of, yo, if this was going to be mine, if this was going to carry my legacy, because I really do believe that I'm only going to take care of anybody that's going to carry on my legacy. Somebody definitely got to carry my legacy. I want to make sure it's 100%, man, and not no half-ass shit. Because I remember how back in the day, I used to hear stories about people raising kids that they knew goddamn well want their kids. But they ain't get no DNA test, man. Nah, fuck that, man. If my finances, if my resources, if anything is going to come from me, I need 100% clarity. If it's too much for me to ask for 100% clarity, then you don't deserve to be around me. That's why I say you got to get rid of them immediately. If they're not willing to do it, she got to go. That's the ultimatum. And I know it sounds harsh, and I know a lot of people aren't going to feel this video, but you got to understand, I have a lot more to lose, gentlemen. I have a lot to lose in this, right? 18 years, man, this child is going to be raised by me, and I'm not 100% sure that this child is even mine. Shit. If I don't have that clarity, guys, I'm not willing to take the chance. Sorry. Just not going to do it. And I recommend that you look into it as well, man. I mean, I understand that you're going to do what you're going to do, but I recommend you definitely take this into consideration. Hands off the situation. I've already said my piece, man. With that being said, Good Doc is officially out, man. At least by 11, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mahakita. Mabuhay. Peace.